night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah.
Happy Tuesday evening, everybody, and welcome to Turn 1. I'm Sean Fitz. Thanks so much for being here. The crew for the Downforce Racing Series Cup Division takes on Homestead here tonight for 140 laps under the lights at the famed Homestead Miami Speedway right here on the iRacing service. These Cup cars over the last couple weeks we have seen across many different leagues be a really big handful. We saw it last week at Charlotte. We've seen it in a couple different places and really a lot of different tracks. How difficult these Cup cars are. Tonight, the drivers of the DRS crew are going to be facing a very similar experience. Aero-tight, having a hard time finding a place on track to make a pass, and when you do, clean air is king. So who's going to be out front and get out front and stay out front for 140 laps and bring home the checkered flag tonight? Well, we're going to find out here in the next hour and a half. You picked a fine night to be with us. Again, happy Tuesday evening. The week of the 4th of July. It is officially July 1st. Thank you so much for being here. It's really one of the cool weeks of the summer, and I'm glad you're here with me to celebrate. Hopefully, what is going to be a very easy and enjoyable holiday week for everybody. While I got you, let's quickly talk about upcoming coverage. Obviously, tonight wraps up the rest of the week. OSR returns back in August for Thursday nights, but beyond that, we're free and clear, so we are going to see you all this coming Sunday at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, right here on Turn 1 for the Independence 500, brought to you or presented by Sim 500. It's going to be a great show. You watched the qualifying races for that. 30 drivers worked their way into the race last night, and, well, you're going to see what that turns into in terms of racing on that famed 2008 version of Daytona International Speedway and those 1987 Cup cars. That goes live again this coming Sunday night at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, right here on Turn 1. The drivers of the DRS crew get rolling, and that driver right there, Vinny Masteus, has won the last, I believe the stat was, last 4 of 5. He's looking to make that 5 of 6 here tonight, and he qualified on the pole. Dave Hunt, Dave Hunt's going to start second here tonight. John Zerke's going to start third. Ryan Patty, Tyler White, your top 5. And then it's Jerry Bergeron, Caden Henry Oaks, Hanover Fist, Mike Whitaker, Bob Lacavera, Rondell, Kevin Gunther, John Anderson, rounding out the rest of the field here tonight. A light field, but that may turn into some excellent racing. We've seen Homestead really produce some fast, exciting action. Top and the bottom of the racetrack are going to be king here. Who's going to be able to figure out or find a setup that works best for them and be able to bring home the checkered flag here? We're going to find out after about 140 laps. I appreciate you being here. If you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe, like the stream, do what you need to do to get connected. We got a lot of racing action over the next couple weeks. Another, I believe, 4 races or so with the DRS crew. Vinny Masteus brings him down the start-finish line, and it is green flag. DRS is live at Homestead. Caution out already, and it was Tyler White, and he's got a ton of damage on the nose. The 77 car looks like he may have had a ride. Let's take a quick look and find out what may have happened. Just gets loose off a 2, and it packs that inside safer barrier. The 77 is going to bring the caution out for the first time here tonight on Turn 1. Masteus will continue to lead here. These cars didn't really even get up to speed a whole lot there. But that's okay. Vinny Masteus, Ryan Patty, Dave Hunt, Jerry Bergeron, Caden Henry Oaks, and the 51 round out your top 5. This should be a relatively quick caution. We'll find out. We're going to step aside for just a moment You're watching Turn 1 Broadcasting. Pace truck lights are off. That means we're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing here. Vinny Masteus on the outside row, 1 to 30. Ryan Patty on the inside. Down to the restart zone they go, and the green flag's back out here at Homestead. Back behind him, though, it's a little bit of a bottleneck. Jerry Bergeron's going to break through, take that top spot, or take that second place away. Ryan Patty sitting in third, trying to gain that spot back. Dave Hunt followed back to fourth. Caden Henry Oaks sitting at P5. Jerry Bergeron just set the fastest lap of the night. Looks like somebody may have made a little bit of contact there with the wall. But so far, the green's going to stay out. Single files the top three. Masteus running way up against the wall. Bergeron's going to lead down or look down to the bottom, slide up the racetrack. He's going to try to find a little bit of pace there. Here comes Ryan Patty now looking underneath Bergeron. That 30 car on the move. Restarted second, lost that spot. He's all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack. Dave Hunt is right with him. While the two drivers, they're working to run down or up against the wall. Homestead is notorious for that type of environment, and you're seeing it right here. Up against the walls, the place to be. Oh, as Bergeron blinks out pretty hard. He's back, though. as they come across the stripe to complete lap number 8. John Zerke, Mike Whitaker, Kevin Gunther, Bob Lacavera head over fist. Sitting on 10th place, John Anderson, Tyler White, and Ron Dell make up the rest of the field here. Macias out front now by about 3/10 of a second over Jerry Bergeron in the 30 car of Ryan Patty. Not a whole lot of action across the racetrack. Everybody's binding their P's and Q's. A fuel run here should be about 40 laps or so. They're going to be wanting tires after about lap 15. As again, this Miami Homestead Speedway track is very abrasive. We'll wear these Goodyears out fairly quickly. With a little bit of a smaller field here, a lot of these drivers, I can imagine we'll see some green flag runs, but I say that, and it looks like Bob Lacavera is going to go for a ride. He slides to the inside out of 1 and makes contact, and that's going to bring the caution out for the second time on lap number 11. While we've got that, we're going to step aside one more time. Looks like the sim is having some issues with frames, so we're going to step aside. Maybe give that a reset. You're watching Turn 1. And ring back, green flag, racing here as they come to lap number 15. Jerry Bergeron, Vinny Masteus out front. And the green flag is back out. We're racing at Homestead. Masteus out front. It looks like Trading Paint's not loaded that paint scheme, but that's okay. The 70 car out front, no matter what color, you cannot mistake that driver. Out free and clear, Masteus takes the lead as they come back to the stripe for lap 15. Just behind him, Dave Hunt now looking underneath Jerry Bergeron. Masteus moves back high, trying to block the run Bergeron's going to have. And here comes Jerry on the bottom, challenging Masteus for the lead. We didn't see pit stops here, and this is all on original tires. And Bergeron drove the fastest lap of the night, but he had to back out of it early. Masteus on the high line. Right to the top, Dave Hunt took a dive. He was able to save it, though. We've seen two drivers get loose off of one tonight. Bergeron and Masteus now side by side through, or I'm sorry, behind each other into tire tracks through turn 3 and 4. And it is getting a little chaotic back here. There's a driver into the wall. That's Dave Hunt, Ryan Patty side by side. Hunt's gonna hold off Patty there. Masteus now comfortably in the lead. Give me just one moment. We're going to try to fix the issues you're seeing on screen there. Give me just 1 second. That makes it any better for us. I think there was some issues maybe rendering the front stretch there. Oh, it's still having issues. That did not seem to make anything much better. Masteus out front. We're going to ride this out unless we see another caution. We'll reset some things. Masteus, Bergeron, Hunt, Patty, Zerke, your top 5. Then is Kane Henry Oaks, Jordan Anderson, Kevin Guthrie, Tyler Whitehead, finished your top 10. As they come down the backstretch. Let's ride on board with the 70 car for a lap around Homestead. Getting a little racy there. That's John Zerke. Dave Hunt. Fairly close to one another, but Vinny Masteas out front. 5/10 of a second over Ryan Patty. Dave Hunt. And Jerry Bergeron has fallen all the way back to 5th. Then it's John Anderson, Kevin Gunther, Caden Henry Oaks. Tyler White back up tonight after that incident on lap number 1. And then Rondell, your top 10. Ron, we saw your message of fate here in YouTube chat. Good luck tonight. Heard you're running that Pet Smart paint scheme. We'll be sure to check that out. All the cautions out. Taking a look, it looks like Kevin Gunther may have been involved. And right there off of turn 2 again, I believe. Let's take a look. Coming off the corner, yep, the 31 just gets loose. We've seen everybody do that right there. That's where all the cautions are materialized. And it looks like this update tonight may be causing some issues with the frames. We're going to work on fixing that. Vinny Masteas leads. You're watching turn 1. Vinny Masteas back out front. Ryan Paddock, Dave Hunt, Jerry Bergeron, and John Anderson. Back here, the green flag is out. We have not resolved our frame issue, unfortunately. We may have to do another restart here in just a second. Masteas out front. Patty gets rolling. Folks, I hate to do it just to resolve this so we don't got to deal with it no more. We're going to step aside really quick and restart the sim one more time. We'll be right back with you. You're watching Turn 1. Back live here at Homestead. I appreciate everybody's patience. Looks like things are running a little smoother now. Vinny Masteus out front. Ryan Patty, Dave Hunt. Jerry Bergeron, John Anderson is up to the top 5 here as they roll to complete lap number 33. Well, I said things were smoothed out. Maybe not. Let's leave this up for a second. If you don't mind, you can forgive everything here. Just doing some testing. I was looking at this while I was stepping away there, and the frames were just fine. Nope, there they go. What's also interesting is that no matter what I do, the grandstands will not go away, so I'm not sure what's going on there. And keep in mind, we've not changed a thing since last night. Either way, Masteus continues to lead. Ryan Patty, Dave Hunt, Jerry Bergeron, John Anderson. It's going to be side-by-side battle. That's Bergeron. And that's Bergeron and, John Anderson. John Anderson moving his way down to the top 4 for the first time tonight. Masteus continues to lead up front. Ryan Patty, though, is closed in pretty tight onto the bumper of the 70 here on lap 37. And here's Ryan Patty looking underneath our leader. It's a drag race down the backstretch. And Ryan Patty's going to take the lead here at Homestead to take lap number 38 for the Downforce Racing crew right here on turn 1. Masteus moving back to the high line. Looking for a little bit of speed on the 30. Patty right down to the bottom, nearly running basically a lane off the bottom. Taking the short way around while Masteus tries to leverage that high line for a little bit of speed. Dave Hunt, John Anderson, Caden Henry Oaks, your top 5. Jerry Bergeron, Mike Whitaker, John Zerke, Tyler White, Bob Lacavera, the top 10. Hanover Fist, Kevin Gunther. And then it looks like Ron Dale. He's the first driver to come down pit road under the green flag conditions here. And he's going to come off of pit road there with new tires and fuel. Ryan Patty, though, is going to lead as they close in with less than 100 to go here at Homestead. I suspect we'll start to see other green flag stops start to materialize here. Patty continues to run that bottom line about a lane up from the bottom on top of that seam there. Looking now to the inside is Mustaeus on the inside of Patty. Side by side they go. Patty's gonna hold him off for another corner. We got a car right in the middle of the track in front of the leaders. Patty was able to miss him there, but that looks like Kevin Gunther spun again and the caution's out. Let's take a quick look, find out what happened with Kevin Gunther again. This was nearly in front of the leaders. A very similar spin to Gunther's last off there. And then I believe there may have been another incident down here near turn 4. Let's take a look. Gets rolling and then unfortunately makes contact with that outside wall. That's going to bring the caution out once again. We're going to step aside. You're watching turn 1. Back live here, the pace car's going to head down pit road. Ryan Patty's going to start on the outside. Green flag back out. We're underway at Homestead and once again. Patty free and clear out front. Oh, John Anderson slides up high. Nearly making contact with the wall, but they all survive coming around. Again, we have several drivers who did not come down pit road, including Ryan Patty, Vinny Mustaeus, Dave Hunt also stayed out. Then, I'm sorry, it looks like John Zerke came down on lap 25. Caden Henry Oaks came down, or stayed out. So did John Anderson. Everybody else down pit road on lap 44. We'll see if these new tires show up as Whitaker looks underneath Jerry Bergeron. He's going to complete that pass. Probably down here on 1 and 2. Whitaker right to the high line. And Anderson, who was that? That is John Anderson, gets into the wall. Macias just ran the fastest lap of the night at 32:57. With Ryan Patty in front of him. 2/10 slower, but here comes Macias. Vinny's going to look down to the bottom of Ryan Patty. It's side-by-side and drag race for the lead. Macias looks like he got loose. Saw the left front take a hard turn to the left. He was able to keep a hold of it. Caden Henry Oaks. He's charging to the front. He came down pit road into that last caution. Faster than our leaders. Let's see what that Henry Oaks can put together a run here. Last time by. A 32.97. Actually slower lap time, but it also may have been because he had to fight through the positions. Macias gets loose. He hangs on to, he's going to move up the racetrack. Here comes Caden Henry Oaks. That's the second time we've seen Vinny Macias get loose. Ryan Patty out front, though. Macias fell all the way back to third. John Zerke, Mike Whitaker, your top 5. Here comes Dave Hunt. And it looks like the caution's going to be out on the racetrack. John Zerke went for a ride. Going to bring another caution out here with Ryan Patty, scored your leader. Pace truck's going to come out. This should bring the rest of the field down that did not pit. We'll see if that becomes a factor. We're going to step aside just a moment. You're watching Turn 1. Actually, folks, what we're going to do, if you're tuned in right now on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, we're going to hop offline here really quick, but we're only going to be gone for about 90 seconds. We're going to give us the studio a good restart and come back to you live right here. Don't go anywhere. If you're on YouTube, stay right there. The stream will come back for you. Same for Twitch. It'll come back. If we don't come back on Facebook or our Facebook friends, head on over to youtube.com/Turn 1 Broadcasting and join the fun over there. We'll be right back with you. You're watching Turn 1. Back live here on turn one. Thanks so much for your patience, folks. We don't normally have these issues. Either way, Ryan Patty out front. Vinny Masteas, P2. Mike Whitaker challenging Katie Henry Oaks as they roll out of 2. Oaks was up on the high side. Whitaker running on the low end, and that low line is just not materializing for a lot of these drivers. You see really everybody here in the top 5 has moved up high. Bob Lacavera has moved up. Here comes Dave Hunt. Oh, and that's going to bring the caution out. Looking through the field here, that may have been the stage break. It very well could have been either way. Under caution, once again, Ryan Patty leads here at Homestead. It's been a wild one so far. Again, thanks so much for everybody's patience. And here the field comes down pit road. Ryan Patty, Vinny Masteas, Mike Whitaker, Bob Lacavera, pretty much everybody, but Caden Henry Oaks, he's going to stay out. Oaks stays out, as so does John Anderson. They came back, they came down pit road lap 44, so this will be an interesting story of tires here and how this affects them. Nonetheless, we're under caution here at Homestead for the Downforce Racing Series right here on turn 1. Pace truck lights are off, getting ready to go back. Green flag racing here, lap number 64 of 140 for the Downforce Racing Series right here on turn 1. Again, hello everybody. I'm Sean Fitz. Thanks so much for being here. It's been a little bit of a wild first half of the race, but that's okay. Caden Henry Oaks up front, John Anderson, P2. Those two did not stop here under this caution. Mike Whitaker, Bob Lacavera, hand over fist. They're going to round out your top 5. Then it's Tyler White, Ryan Patty, Vinny Masteas right now, all the way back to 8. Dave Hunt, John Zerke, Jerry Bergeron, Ron Deal, and Kevin Gunther round out the remainder of the field for tonight's Downforce Racing Series action at Homestead. Under the lights, and we get ready to go back. Green flag here. I think our technical issues are mostly resolved. We'll find out, though. Back to the start-finish line, and the green flag back out. Back racing at Homestead. Oaks got a great start there, way out front in front of John Anderson. Here comes Bob Lacavera on the outside. Vinny Masteas making a huge charge. Right down to the bottom, trying to grab a couple spots as the 77 slides up. So will Lacavera in third. Here comes Masteas. Really drove it through the corner there. He went from 8th to 4th in 3 and 4. Now he's going to look to the inside of Lacavera. right down to the bottom, two opposite ends of the racetrack. John Anderson now in trouble. Here comes the 70. He's going to look down on the inside of Anderson. Masteus trying to make it stick. Not going to be able to do anything there. Wasn't able to quite get clear of him. Now it's going to be a little bit of a tougher battle. Masteus is going to try to slide up, take the air off the nose. He's going to be against the wall. Can Anderson slide? Can Anderson cross him up? It does not look like he can. And Vinny Masteus is going to take second spot back from John Anderson. And look out front. He's got to run down a 6/10 of a second gap on Caden Henry Oaks. Last time by, that was a 34.85 for our leader, Vinny Masteus, through traffic. A 32.69. Dave Hunt able to move back up around Bob Lacavera for fourth rather. It's getting a little bouncy back here as well. That's Whitaker, Patty. John Zerke's in this as well. Back up front, Oaks leveraging that clean air, and it's paying off for him right now. Still sitting about 6/10 out front of Vinny Masteus. Vinny actually is now starting to feel some pressure back on that high line from the 56 of John Anderson. Those two have been running different lines in the corner. Now Anderson's going to look to the inside of the 70 as they roll into 3. Nothing happening there. But Anderson's going to have big drive up through the middle of the corner, but he's going to get tight on corner exit. Meanwhile, right behind him, Dave Hunt is looking for an opportunity here. Hunt now on the inside of Anderson. Nearly right to the bumper of Masteus. Masteus back out to the wall. Hunt right alongside Anderson. Hunt's going to drive it in deep in 3 and 4, almost looking to the inside of Masteus. There's a 3-wide fight for second. Hunt's going to clear John Anderson now. He's going to have something for Vinny Masteus here. Masteus is going to go to the high line. Hunt's going to go to the bottom. 1 and 2, the 70 car has figured out. Oh, Hunt's going to make contact with the apron. That car gets loose. He's got to back way out of it. All that progress Dave Hunt just made is going to be lost. Meanwhile, our leader up front, Caden Henry Oaks, now up to a 7/10 of a second lead over the 70 car. We'll see if that shakes out a little bit more now that this battle is completed. We look back at Hunt. He's fallen all the way back to 7th, back behind Mike Whitaker. He's now trying to hold off Jerry Bergeron. As we're past halfway tonight, the Downforce Racing Series putting on a show here at Homestead. On Turn 1 Broadcasting, hello, I'm Sean Fitz. Oh, Hunt gets loose again out of 2. Somebody else goes for a ride. Who was that back there? That's Bob Lacavera. He spun it around. He's going to make contact with the wall. No caution. We've seen almost every incident, every incident begin at the exit of Turn 2. These cars just get super loose, and these drivers are feeling it. Meanwhile, Whitaker and Bergeron side by side. Bergeron's going to have the drive off. And Whitaker's actually going to lose a spot there behind John Zerke. Hand over a fist now, looking at the inside of Whitaker. He's going to try and capitalize on Whitaker having a really rough lap there. And here comes Kevin Gunther as well. Lacavera was able to get rolling. He's coming out of Turn 3 and 4 now, while our leaders are rolling out of 2. Hunt continues back there to look a little squirrely. But I tell you what, Caden Henry Oaks out front, 6/10 of a second over Vinny Masteus. Vinny has not gained time. How hard is Caden Henry Oaks driving is the question. And keep in mind too, he came down pit road lap 44, did not come down during pit stops for the rest of the field on 61. Him and John Anderson both have maintained those spots in the top 3. If this is a longer green flag run, what will that materialize to? We'll have to pay close attention to that story. Oh, wow. Vinny Masteus. Or, sorry, Kane Henry Oaks must have had a really bad quarter. Let's take a look. What is this going to look like in lap time? Because Masteus made up a ton of time. Yeah, that was 0.3 of a second slower there. Last lap for Henry Oaks, and all of a sudden, the 70 is within striking distance. That is what this Miami Homestead, or Homestead Miami Raceway does to you. For it can get really tricky. And you're seeing that come to fruition here. You can be fine one lap, but it requires absolute concentration and consistency. Oaks is able to hold off the 70 for another lap, but it's a drag race down the front stretch for Ryan Patty, John Anderson. They're side by side. Patty's going to go to the bottom, Anderson to the high line. And Ryan Patty's going to clear John Anderson on the exit of 2. And we go back up front, though. Vinny Masteus down on the bottom, not the preferred line. He's going to move up. He's going to cross up there. Caden Henry Oaks. Can Oaks get back to the inside at 1? But this is going to put Vinny on the preferred line. Oaks down there, 1 lane up. He's going to run all the way up the racetrack. He gets tight. Vinny Masteus is going to drive away. That may be the 20-lap different tires coming into effect there. And Caden Henry Oaks now is going to settle into second. And just like that, the roles flip here. Oaks is now 0.7 of a second back behind Vinny Masteus. All the racing action all over the racetrack here. And before you know it, it looks like Caden Henry Oaks now is going to be under some pressure. Here comes the 30 of Ryan Patty. We've seen Patty lead a few laps here tonight. He came down pit road and took those same tires that Masteus has. Will that materialize into something and materialize into a run? Let's take a look at lap times. Cross the stripe of 33:29. So Patty's 33:17. And that is starting to shake out. You can start to see those two get tighter and tighter. Patty down at the bottom now. Oaks trying to hold the high line. Vinny Masteus has checked out almost a full second. Patty now down to the bottom. And Ryan Patty going to try to shut the door. That pass! Oaks is going to cross him up. No, I don't think so. I think Oaks just got loose. Either way, Oaks now down to the bottom. I'm not sure. We'll have to take another look at that, but those two may have nearly made contact. Oaks is going to try to cross him up. Not going to get clear. It's a dead drag race down the front stretch here. Lap 81. Side by side. Fighting like it's for the lead, but it's only for second place. Meanwhile, the 70 car is checked out 1.5 out front. Patty, though, looks like he's going to get a car length or more on Caden Henry Oaks and settle into that second place spot. While we've got an opportunity, let's ride on board with the driver, the 51, Caden Henry Oaks, as he works to run back down Ryan Patty. Nobody around, and Henry Oaks is going to settle into third. Dave Hunt, fourth. Tyler White, fifth. John Anderson, sixth. He is still yet to pit. Same with Caden Henry Oaks. But now they may be in a little bit of trouble. They may be trying to one-stop this race, but they need a long green flag run to materialize. I'm sorry, not one-stop. They came down pit road on lap 44, but that may be, I don't think they can make it the rest of the way on fuel, so they'll have to stop one more time, but I also believe the rest of the field will have to. Looking out front, Basteas, he's out there 1 second over Ryan Patty. Caden Henry Oaks sitting third. Dave Hunt, Tyler White, John Anderson, your top five. Looking for a little bit of a battle on track, and everybody's mostly single filed out here. No drama, no bubbles, no troubles. With a 70 car, free and clear, making laps here at Homestead for the Downforce Racing Series. Right here on turn one. While we've got a little bit of a break in the action, let's talk about the schedule. The drivers of DRS head over to Bristol. Next, Tuesday night, we go short tracking in East Tennessee, Bristol Motor Speedway. That'll be a great race. So then it's a 4-week run to the very end of the season. Texas, Dover, Kansas, with a final race August 5th at Phoenix. That's going to be an exciting one. You're not going to want to miss it. Make sure you get subscribed to Turn 1 and not miss any more action here with this group. We saw Ryan Patty look like he started to close down the run or close the gap a little bit, but it's only by a couple hundredth at this rate. We see that kind of ebb and flow, but Patty holding on to P2. As we look down the backstretch here, really no battles anywhere. It's starting to pick up a little bit back here behind, who was that? The 77, I believe? Is that not Kevin Gunther? I apologize. Tyler White in that 77 car. John Anderson's back there with him. Jerry Bergeron has fallen all the way back to 7th. We saw Jerry battling for the lead earlier tonight. Now sitting back there at 7th. Mike Whitaker sitting in 8th right now. Kevin Gunther is 8th. Hanover 5th. Rod Dell. Bob Lacavera, who had a little bit of issue, or has had a couple issues off of turn 2. He is about to run into some trouble, and that's going to be by the name of the 70 car. Vinny Masteas is starting to close in, and we could see Bob Lacavera go a lap down. John Zerke, also the other car, a lap down here tonight. But this just shows you how fast that 70 car is. He's put together a really strong run of races. As I mentioned earlier at the broadcast, he's won 4 of the last 5. I think this is going to make 5 of the last 6. Well, it will. And that's a pretty impressive run so far. If he could top it off as they come across the stripe, he's only got to hang on for 49 more laps out front. Speaking of hanging on, Hanover Fist is going to get that car slowed down. He's going to come down pit road under green flag conditions. That should be his last pit stop of the night. Will that turn into some track position if we were to see another caution here? That could play in his favor. The 30 car of Ryan Patty tried to close down the gap, but really hasn't made a ton of progress. Let's ride on board with the 30 machine as he works to run down our leader here at Homestead. You saw Ryan Patty, or you heard him rather, shifting as they were coming out of the corner. And it looks like John Anderson's going to be down pit road. Anderson down pit road here. He's going to come out 11th right now as we start to see green flag stops materialize. Those should be the last of the night. One driver I'm sure that's going to be excited to hit pit road is Caden Henry Oaks in that 51 car. Cruising around that high line. He's not been on pit road since lap 44, I do believe. So that's closing in on over 60 laps. See, that driver wanting to take some tires, but so will the rest of this field. And it's all about treating him well at this rate. Drivers like John Anderson, he's fallen back to 11th right now, a lap down. But now that he's done for the night, he needs a caution to come out. Right about now, he's going to gain that track position back while everybody comes down pit road. But he doesn't want to be out there too much longer without that caution. You don't want to have too many racing laps on those tires with those green flag conditions, as we see Tyler White, Kevin Gunther starting to close in. Kevin ran the high line out of 2. Now he's going to look to the inside of the 77. And Kevin Gunther is going to complete that pass on Tyler White. White's going to try to cross him up down the front stretch. Side by side. That pass is not done. And Gunther's going to shut the door on P6. We can see everybody kind of not necessarily off the pace, as you see Bob LaCavera drive underneath the 77 as well. That is not for position. I think LaCavera is going to have some fresher tires. When is the last time I showed he down? Yep, lap 90. So he is certainly turning some faster lap times than those up front. But he is a lap down, so those are not for position. But again, he's another driver that would love to see a caution come out here. As Vinny Masteas, he's not gotten that far away from Ryan Patty. Both those drivers up along that outside wall. A little bit of a puff of smoke out of the 30 car. Maybe some wall contact for him. Both those drivers riding around on that high line, trying to keep up as much speed in these cars as they can. Henry Oaks, I imagine of the drivers that need to pit, he will be the first here. And he's going to have to do it, as I mentioned, probably in the next 60, or no, the next 10 laps at the most, I would think. Up high against that wall. He is begging for those good years, but more importantly, I think he's going to need a little bit of fuel to help finish out this race here tonight. And there it is. We're going to see some green flag stops. It's Ryan Patty. Here comes Caden Henry Oaks. Both those drivers down pit road for what could be the last stops of the night. Green flag stops happening right now out of the top 5. And Mike Whitaker's also going to get that car slowed down. He's going to hit pit road. Patty to the box clean. The right sides go up on the right side goes up on that car. And then we'll see the left side. Man, it looks like Ryan Patty's got some front end damage just a little bit there. Maybe the nose of that car. It is beat up. What did Ryan Patty get into? Meanwhile, Masteas continues to lead. Dave Hunt's going to take over that second spot. But he will have to come down here soon as well. They'll want to take tires and fuel. I think they could go. They definitely could go to 120, but I don't know how off sequence that's going to put them. Either way now, Masteus, he's in a good position. Jerry Bergeron's going to come down pit road. He gets that car slowed up on pit road entry. And it looks like Tyler White also completed his pit stop. Green flag stops underway here as we've officially closing in on about 35 to go. 1 lap till. And Masteus leads out front by over 10 seconds at the moment. He is yet to stop one final time. It'll be interesting to see if he has to. It looks like everybody's going to go a lap down regardless if Duty's green flag stops. With Patty, right now we see Kevin Gunther. He's on pit road. So is, oh no, Bergeron already was. So Caden Henry Oaks is on the move. He's Ryan Patty sitting 5th at the moment. He's got some hustling to do. He's sitting 40 seconds back behind the leader. We'll see if he's going to be able to race his way back around. Right now, I show him a lap down. Only 2 other cars besides our leader on the lead lap. That's Dave Hunt, Ron Dell. If drivers like Caden Henry Oaks, as well as, say, Ryan Patty, if they're able to run down the leader here, what is that going to do from a lead perspective? Because I tell you, this could get interesting. If Masteus does have to come down and they start to run him down, the gap he had, which was only about a second, may disappear. Patty has closed it by half a second as he rolls out of 2. Caden Henry Oaks is right back behind him. Last time by, that was their get up to, I'm sorry, yeah, last time by was a 33 flat for Patty, 32.94 for Oaks, but those tires are just getting warmed up. So not a great tale here of what could be, as we see Ron Dale about to take a lap from Vinny Masteus. Masteus is going to move down to try to pick up a little bit of the draft. Up along the high line he goes. Ryan Patty has only reeled in our leader by about a lap, by about a tenth so far. I'm sorry, a full second. As Ron Dale pits from 3rd. Patty is running faster lap times. No secret about it. Last time by, he was almost half a second faster. He doesn't need too many more of these. And Masteus is just going to have to stay out or hope he can play some strategy, because at this rate, if he were to come down pit road and he has another couple laps like that, Ryan Patty may pass him while he's getting that service. Across the stripe, Masteus ran another 33.47. Patty, a 33.03, another 4/10 faster. Now that gap down to 38 seconds. These lap times are certainly looking different, but they're looking better for Masteus. But I tell you what, the interval is not shrinking as fast as I would have thought it would. No, that makes about sense. It's all going to be about, can Masteus, does he have enough fuel to get all the way to the end? He came down lap 61. So did Dave Hunt. Those 2 drivers will have to have enough fuel on board to make it the rest of the way to not face a challenge from the 30 or the 51. The good news is they've got a whole lap worth of racetrack to figure it out. So not a whole lot of drama. And if they need to lift early, save a ton, it's very possible. Going back through the field. Not really missing a whole lot here. Everybody's mostly single filed out, with the exception of Kevin Gunther, Jerry Bergeron. Those two were fighting it out. All these drivers have come down pit road within about a 10-lap gap of each other, a 10-lap margin of each other. Gunther looking to the inside of Bergeron. This is for 10th. Kevin's looking to solidify his spot up there. He's sitting in 10th right now, but looking to pick up 9th. They go back up front. Here comes Vinny Masteus. Our leaders coming down pit road for his final service of the night. Now, will Ryan Patty be there to challenge him for the lead? We're going to find out. Down through 1 and 2. Off the corner. Down into 3 and 4. And Masteus is just now coming off of pit road, but he's got to take this long road to exit. Ryan Patty is going to be your new leader here, I think, folks. Masteus is down to the bottom. Patty's going to be up to speed. This was absolutely going to be Ryan Patty's race. He's going to take the lead as they roll off into 3 and 4. A much closer battle than I expected, but there's the 70. He's going to move up, trying to take the air away. He's not going to be able to. Keep in mind that 70 car has cold tires. Patty's going to roll the high line. Masteus is going to use up some of that grip and try to slide up. Vinny Masteus may have made the race move of the night right there. That may have prevented him from losing that clean air. He shut the door on Ryan Patty. And he's going to move back into P2. Now, right now, our leader, Dave Hunt, is still on track. He will have to come down pit road one more time here before it's all said and done. As he comes across the stripe, it's 25 to go here at Homestead. He has to come down one more time. He's going to forfeit that lead, and it's going to fall into the hands of Vinny Masteus, who now has played this pretty well. He's going to have 10-lap fresher tires than basically everybody in the field, and it's going to be his race to control. Ryan Patty, Caden Henry Oaks sitting 4th right now. John Zerke, he's recovered. Had a little bit of an incident a little while ago, but he's back up to 5th. Kevin Gunther, Mike Whitaker, John Anderson, Tyler White, Jerry Bergeron, your top 10. And Hunt will come down pit road, and that'll bring a good bit of these cars back on the lead lap sequence. Hunt only has about a 19-second lead. If he was even to try to conserve and go a full 80 laps, I don't know if he could save enough in the amount of time he's got left behind, or amount of buffer he's got behind him. Patty is settling into that 3rd place spot, still running faster lap times than Masteus, but that's going to be probably it for that roll. I suspect Vinny's going to be in tight control there. I also see a lot of damage on the front of that 30 car. We saw that with him coming off pit road. It looked like he had significant front end damage. He does. The nose of that car is punched in pretty hard. That is most certainly affecting the handling characteristics as we see Kevin Gunther and John Zerke battle it out. Gunther went high, Gunther went low, Zerke went high there coming off the corner. Now Zerke's back high. Gunther looking to the inside. That driver, the 31, has had a nice recovery, all things considered, but man, he had a rough go of it. He's brought out, I believe, at least 2 of the cautions. Trying to hang on to that 31. It has been tricky. down there in the exit of turn 2. He gets tight to the side of the 44. He's going to fall back behind. Oh, we've got a caution on the racetrack. And it's Jerry Bergeron, the 1. He's sideways right there out of 2. This has been the place where everybody has struggled here tonight. Let's find out what happened to the 1 car. It just walks out from underneath him. He tries to hold it off the wall. He's going to make contact to the rear end of that 11. I'm sorry, that's the 1, not the 11. Either way, Jerry Bergeron bringing out the caution here. Once again, with just about 20 to go. 20 to go on the nose. This was a great call for Dave Hunt. If the rest of the field were to come down, which I suspect we'll see everybody do that. Vinny Masteas may stay out, but this is going to be a pretty big opportunity. Hunt's going to come down pit road, it looks like. So is Masteas. Hunt's going to have track position. After these stops, Ryan Patty, everybody's coming for tires. With the exception of the drivers, John Zerke, Kevin Gunther, Mike Whitaker, Tyler White. I think those guys are going to need to get their lap back. We'll see how this all shakes out. Hunt in the box. Oh, had to back up a little bit. That's going to cost him some time. But he's going to be a little bit of ahead here. He's going to come out with the lead. Right, left side's going on. Hunt is rolling. That's going to put Masteas. He's going to be a couple cars back. Dave Hunt had the caution fall, and he's going to pick up the lead. We're going to go back green flag racing with 17 to go. We're going to step aside. You're watching turn 1. Back green flag racing here at Homestead, and contact on the front stretch. Ryan Patty, Vinny Masteas. Oh, Patty's sideways and he's into the wall. He's going to come down, nearly collect John Anderson. He still can't get hold of it. Ryan Patty spins. That's going to cause a huge wreck. John Zerke isn't going to be involved. And a couple others. Jordan Anderson right there. Also, man, I tell you what. Oh, Kevin Gunther involved. And Rondell. He also got part of that action. This all started with contact on the front stretch with the 70 and the 31. Oh, Zerke just couldn't get checked up enough. He collects Ron Dale. Patty's still sliding around. Let's take a quick look here again at Ryan Patty with that 30 car. He got into the side of the 70 and it just wasn't able to really collect it since. Just nowhere to go there for Ron. And cautions breed cautions here. Not what Dave Hunt wanted to see. He wanted to be able to run that out just a little bit. As Whitaker, Patty, and Tyler White all come down pit road. Now, with that being said, this may be the stop that Patty needs to get that car fixed. He does have enough time here still to make a big hero run up to the front. We'll find out if he can get it done here before it's all said and done. Right here on turn 1. 15 to go here for the Downforce Racing Series. One more time, let's take a look at that schedule. Next week, they head on over to Bristol, the Great Coliseum in East Tennessee, the short track. That's going to be a great race right here on turn 1 next Tuesday night. 9 Eastern, 8 Central. You can find that here. Then they go to Texas, Dover, Kansas, and then the season finale at Phoenix. Pace truck gets them collected up. We're going to step aside one more time. You're watching Turn 1 Broadcasting. Getting ready to get back green flag racing. It's going to be a sprint, about 13 laps to go. Dave Hunt, he's going to have an opportunity to show if he played this strategy right or not. Vinny Masteas has been fast all night. He's looking to make it make it up there. Ryan Patty, by the way, I don't know how. He's back up to 4th. That's right, because the cars were lapped down behind him. The green flag back out. Patty's going to run it all the way back down here into 1. But Hunt has the lead. By the way, Caden Henry Oaks is up here in 3rd. It's going to be an all-out battle. Oh, they're going to make contact out of 1. I think Masteas got to the back of Hunt. Patty's going to dive down to the inside. Ryan Patty. Dave Hunt's going to be slow. Masteas is going to use him up right to the bumper. A bunch of drafting here at Homestead. With 12 to go, Ryan Patty gets out front. He's going to run that highlight. He's going to have a great run off the corner. Hunt and Masteas can't get away from each other. Now Masteas able to get clear of him. Let's see if we can get a view of that 70 car bumper. I wonder if he's got a little bit of damage. It doesn't look like it. Vinny Masteas may be in the free and clear. Now he's just got to set sails on the 30 car. 11 laps to go. They come down the backstretch. Ryan Patty sitting 0.3 of a second over the 70. Dave Hunt has not gone anywhere, though. He's right there in the mix. Caden Henry Oaks is within striking distance. John Zerke, he was involved in that bigger accident. He's already back up to 5th. This is what paying on the lead lap is going to pay some of these drivers. It's worked out for him, but now Masteus to the inside. He's going to take a hard look. Not going to be able to do anything with it that time. A little bit of a battle back there with Whitaker, and I think that was the 77 to Tyler White. But we're going to stay right here up front. Patty's going to move down, take the air off the nose of the 70. It's going to be effective, but the 70's going to have the draft down the front stretch. Patty's got to pick a line. He's going to try to run the high here. That's where Masteus has been fastest. But Masteus is going to have to check up. I'm sure there's a little bit of arrow push coming on that car as they come down the backstretch. Masteus had a great quarter bomb. Lacavera spinning behind him. He's still trying to hang on to it, but Lacavera is going to turn it sideways. He's down on the apron, no caution, but Vinny Masteus gets across the start-finish line. 8 laps to go. He is the leader here, was able to complete that pass on Ryan Patty. Oaks is now moved up to 3rd. Dave Hunt's gonna fall back to 4th. John Zerke's gonna look to the inside of Hunt. They're gonna let it ride all the way through the corner, no pressure out of either one of them as we go back up front. They come across the start-finish line here at Homestead. Masteus, Ryan Patty. 1-2 right there, running within 0.6 of a second. Now, if you're Ryan Patty, are you trying to cool the tires just a little bit here? As we see Mike Whitaker go for a ride. I think he made contact with that inside wall. We've seen so many drivers tonight get loose off of turn 2. Patty is trying to run down Masteus, but he's actually losing time. Now falling to 0.8 of a second. Caden Henry Oaks is on the hunt for that spot. Just 6 laps to go. Oaks not going to be able to get it done. We're going to work to continue running down Patty. Well, John Zerke's looking on the outside of Dave Hunt. They're going to make contact. Zerke makes contact with the wall. Dave Hunt moved up. And Dorn looked like Zerke there as they come across the stripe to take 5 to go. I was going to say it looks like most of the field spread out here. But I say that right after talking about potential contact between the 53 and the 44. They get separated from one another, at least for another lap or so, until Zerke tries to run him down again. Out front, though, 0.9 of a second is Masteus. Patty running that high line. Last time by, oh, Patty's loose! Sideways across the racetrack. Ryan Patty goes spinning, and that's going to bring the caution out. That just shows you how on the edge these cars are. Ryan Patty going to fall back to 9th after this spin. We've seen him have a couple issues on that high line. That's one of them right there, except this time he wasn't able to save it. He was about to go back up the racetrack. He turned it back to the inside to avoid making contact. Ryan Patty in the 30. Going to bring the caution out here. And that's going to take us to NASCAR overtime. We'll talk about that format and a couple other notes here in just a moment. You're watching Turn 1. Pace car lights are off. We're getting ready to go to NASCAR overtime. If you've not seen it, you're in for a treat. These drivers are going to see the green flag when they come back by. If they can make it all the way around this Homestead Miami Speedway before the or they make it all the way around rather, they get back to the start-finish line with no cautions, they'll see the white, and it's a race to the end. If there were to be an incident on track that were to bring out a caution before they see the white flag, we'll re-rack it and run it back. Vinny Masteas, Caden Henry Oaks, Dave Hunt, John Zerke, Kevin Gunther in your top 5. This is going to be huge. Can the 51 have a restart of all restarts and hold off the 70, or is Vinny Masteas going to continue to dominate? Pace truck down pit road. Into the restart zone they go. The green flag is out. We're overtime racing at Homestead. Masteas gets out free and clear. Caden Henry Oaks going to go to the high line. It's an all-out drag race back behind him. That's Dave Hunt, John Zerke side by side. Everybody keeps it straight off of 2. That was my biggest worry. Masteas is going to hold on to that lead up against the wall. Caden Henry Oaks sitting in second. They're going to see the white flag one more time around for DRS. All free and clear behind them. Even if somebody messes up here off of turn 2, they're going to stay green. Everybody keeps it straight. Masteas continues an incredible run. This is going to make the last 5 of 6. Vinny Masteas is going to win under the lights at Homestead. Caden Henry Oaks, John Zerke's going to finish 3rd. A challenging track, but these drivers did their best to make it look good. A lot of action all over the racetrack. We're glad to be able to cover it. We're going to step aside, try to bring you a little bit of post-race coverage here, as Vinny Masteas is going to work to burn him down here at Homestead. You're watching Turn 1. Another exciting race here in the books. Let's quickly talk to Caden. Let's talk to Vinny Masteas, who was able to bring home another victory here tonight. Vinny, congratulations on another victory here for the Downforce Racing Series. Run me through your night in that 70 car.
Pretty good. It's a lot of tough racing, tire wear issues, new tire model, and everything that goes with it. Honestly, other than that, I think it was just all about managing tires and fuel. Luckily, we had a few cautions that got us to where we wanted, so we'll take it.
Vinny, obviously, we've talked to you a couple times here the last couple weeks. I think this makes 5 of 6. That's an impressive run as we go down the rest of the season. It's going to certainly get a little more interesting with a variety of tracks starting next week at Bristol. Do that 70 car have the same pace and the same kind of momentum going into a drastically different racetrack than what you've seen here tonight?
Yeah, I sure hope so. Bristol's definitely a difficult track. Its visibility is very intensive, very limited, and it's just one of those things where either you're in front or you're in the back or 20 laps down. So just got to play it safe and keep it clean and stay away from any potential wrecks that are ongoing at that moment. So just keep the nose clean.
Vinny, listen, congratulations on an impressive run here tonight at Miami, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon, considering the hot streak. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll quickly talk to the driver of the 51, Caden Henry-Oaks. Caden, congratulations on a decent finish here tonight. We saw you up front battling pretty hard and trying to get caught up there with Vinny Masteas. Any thoughts on what you could have done differently to maybe challenge for the lead here?
I'm not really sure. I felt like I got as much out of the car as I could tonight. Just didn't have the pace that Vinny and Ryan had. I'm not going to say that they were in their own league, but they were definitely faster than I was. And I felt that it showed throughout the course of the race. But, good points tonight. Made up some points on Ryan to try and cut into the deficit that I have. And hoping that Vinny doesn't take the lead.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be close. He's got a hold on everybody right now, but you have really been very consistent, and that's what it seemed like you had tonight, was a consistent run at this track. We heard Vinny mention the tire wear and the new model and aero and a couple other things coming into play. What was your biggest obstacle here tonight at Homestead?
Definitely running in traffic, because I didn't have clean air except for on the restart for the stage end. It was very hard to navigate when you were behind another car. It didn't really matter what line you were in. You just needed clean air.
Okay, next week we go to Bristol. That's a half-mile racetrack, drastically different than where we've been the last couple weeks. Any thoughts going into Bristol and a plan on how to go there and attack and potentially win?
I'm excited. It's going to be track position, that's for sure, just like all the races. But I am more excited for the short tracks than I am the 1.5 miles or anything like that. So I am ready to get there.
Keep a lookout. The 51 is ready to turn it up a notch on the short tracks. Caden, thank you for the time tonight. Congratulations on P2. We'll be talking to you again soon.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll wrap up our night speaking with the driver of the 44, John Zerke. John, congratulations on a victory, or not a victory, on a top 3 position, which feels like a victory. It felt like after the wild night you had in that 44. Run me through your mind as you were trying to get through these laps here tonight at Homestead.
Oh, man, that was pretty eventful. Bottom line is that one caution that happened on the green flag run where Dave got the lead there. That's what saved me, basically. So I pitted halfway through the first stage thinking maybe I'd have fresh tires and drive through and win the stage, even if I used a set of tires, which I did that earlier in the season and won a stage that way. And, you can't just do exactly what the leaders do. So I was like, well, maybe I can do that. I went nowhere. And then at the stage break, I was like, I last minute decided to not pit, which was really dumb. So I had to pit like 20 laps or so into the final stage, which short pitted me a little bit, but I was going to be dropping like a rock those last 20 laps. So that caution saved me. But then I was in like 5th, brand new tires, and then Ryan spun out in front of us and I screwed the tires up. But Yeah, but still, a couple good restarts there at the end, and you know, if I can run third to those guys, especially Vinny's untouchable and Caden's super faster than me always consistently. So if I can finish P3 and talk to you, it's a good night for me.
I bet, John. Listen, we heard you. I want to hammer back on a point you made. You mentioned, you know, having those tires didn't really go as well as you thought they would, or didn't go. It didn't feel like you picked up the pace as much. We've heard Vinny mention tonight that tire wear was really critical, but really, it seems like a lot of folks are struggling with the aero on this Cup car, like they are in real life. It seems like that's followed into the sim. Any thoughts on how you combat that? Especially look down this next couple weeks. We go to Bristol next week, and then, you know, we've got Kansas in the mix and a couple others. It's a variety of tracks. What can you do, or what kind of driver do you need to be able to pick up some points here down the stretch?
Well, yeah, Kansas is definitely going to be interesting with it being a mile and a half, and I like to run high at that track when it works. But the tire models change, the aero they keep tweaking on this, and you would think Bristol wouldn't be an aero track, but we go so damn fast there. Who knows? And the tires and whatever. So I don't really know what to expect. I like both of those tracks a lot, and I think it seems like lately now, and you know, field size and stuff, we have a chance to run some long green flag runs. So I'm gonna have to maybe do some testing and figure out my tire saving mentality, because earlier in the season we had so many damn cautions, so you didn't really have to save tires too much. But I anticipate things getting cleaner now moving forward.
Well, John, listen, that obviously able to pay off, that caution working in your favor, coming back into a top 3 situation. Congratulations. We appreciate you taking the time with us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you back up front here at Bristol.
Yeah, and congrats to Vinny, and great job on the broadcast. Love watching it.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
John Zerke going to bring home a top 3 finish here tonight at Homestead. And you know, that's got to feel like a victory after it's all said and done, considering the incidents that he found himself in a couple nights, or a couple different times here tonight. As I mentioned, next week we move on to Bristol for the DRS crew. Same time, same channel. Next Tuesday evening, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, right here on Turn 1. One final reminder, Sunday evening, 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, will be the big event of the summer, the Independence 500, brought to you by Sim 500 right here on Turn 1. 43 drivers take on Daytona and the Coupe 87s for a fantastic holiday finale, wrapping up, or what is going to put an end cap to a great holiday week here in the U.S., and we look forward to that. So make sure you get connected with us. We'd love to see you there. On behalf of the league admins at DRS, I'm Sean Fitz. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you Sunday night. Bye-bye now.